Okay, we've got our main shaft, our pivot plate. Now we need to go ahead and create the locking collar, which is a machined alloy collar. You can see that we've got a thread form through here, and if you hover over it, you can see that you've got a thread form. We can use the thread function. What that does in Inventor is just creates a picture of a thread on the inside. So what we're actually going to do is use a coil function, which will actually cut that coil form out for us. So the way we do that, go back to our folding shovel assembly, and we're going to place from content center, and we're using structural shapes round bars, and we're going to use this one here, BSEN 10060. So left click that once, click OK, and the diameter that we want is 40 millimeters, and the extrusion length is 50 millimeters. We'll apply that, and we're going to call that locking collar. I've created it once already, so this won't happen for you. I'll just call it locking collar 1. Okay, now to avoid cluttering our screen, I've just zoomed out a little. I've held down my scroll wheel, pan those parts out of the way, and left click to place that extrusion. If we press escape, we'll detach it from trying to put another one in. Now we're in our folding shovel assembly. We want to modify this part, so we need to hover over it and double click. Now we're actually in the part, so we can do something with it. The first step we need to do is create a bored hole through the top. So we'll right click and create a new sketch on that top surface. Then we're going to project the geometry of that top surface, and then we're going to right click and put a center point circle on the center there, drag it out to any size, it doesn't matter, and press escape and finish the sketch. Then we're going to right click and use our hole tool, click on the hole center, you can see that it's putting it through, and the hole diameter is 29. Check that it says through all and click OK. Okay, there's our bored hole. Now it's time to create the thread using the coil. Now in order to do that, we need to create a sketch of the thread profile. So what we're going to do is hover over here to your browser till you find the origin, and click on that little plus box, and we want to select the YZ plane. So if we right click on that one and turn on visibility, we can see a plane through the center of that cylinder. We're going to create a sketch on that plane, so we right click and click on new sketch, hover over the plane till it goes white, and left click that one. Now one of the tricks we can do here is called a graphic slice, so we can actually see what we're drawing on the plane. So if we right click and go to slice graphics, it will actually cut that material away for us to look at, so we can see the sectional view of that cylinder right there. I'm just going to hit my look at, select that face, so we can work with that. Okay, we're going to project a bit of geometry here. We want that inside line, and we want this top edge, and we're going to press escape. First thing we need to do is create a center line for our function to revolve around. So we're going to create line, click anywhere on this center line, and just drag a line up vertically like that, press escape. Then we're going to create our thread form up here. So I like to do it by creating a rectangle. So right click, 2-point rectangle. If I hover on that line, I can get that rectangle to snap there and drag that up. Press escape. I'm going to general dimension. From left to right is 3.5 millimeters. From top to bottom is 3.5 millimeters. This just makes it easier to draw the thread form. Then we want to right click, use our line tool. From the top, if we hover around here, you'll see it's automatically going to snap to the center for us. and click on that point over here, press escape. If you wanted to, you can general dimension that point to bottom, and you can see it's all automatically driven that for us, so we can click accept. Okay, that's the sketch elements that we need. We're also going to give it a height here, so right click, general dimension, click on that edge, and we're going to make that 3.5 as well, just for argument's sake. So there's our thread form. We can finish our sketch, and then we're going to use our coil tool. Now it's going to ask us for a profile, so we're going to go in here and select that triangular shape as our thread profile. It's asking us for an axis. We're going to use that axis line that we created. And if we have a look, it's already forming a thread for us. We can see that it's given us a right hand thread, but it's up on the top of the object, so we can actually flip that down so it goes through the object. Just checking it's still a right hand thread. We want to turn it into a cut, and we want to specify our coil size. Now we're going to use pitch and height. Our pitch is 3.5 millimeters, and our height we're going to use 70 millimeters, so it cuts all the way through the object. You can see there that that coil is going to cut. Then we click OK, and there you have a coil cut all the way through that object using the thread form that we want. Now, just one of the things that we want to do, it's a lot easier to hide that plane while we're here, so we're going to right click there and turn the visibility off on that plane before we return to our object. If you wanted to, you can add some chamfers on this part, so if we right click, we can do a fillet or a chamfer. Let's do a chamfer on this edge and this edge, and we'll make them 2 millimeters, which is defaulted to already. We can tick that, so we've got some nice chamfers on that part. You can also add a knurl pattern to that if you wanted to, but we can do that later. So there's our locking collar, so we're going to return. We can see that that's in our assembly. And if we just drag it over here, all of our parts are a bit closer together. You can see them all.